Good day, everyone. I'm Carl Brian L. Matabia, and together with Judy Ann Lumbaw, we will report the semantic webbing method. First of all, what is semantic webbing method? This is the first definition. Semantic webbing method is a method that students can use to organize information from a reading passage or other source as part of the pre-writing process. Semantic web is also known as a graphic organizer. And the other definition of semantic webbing is Friedman and Reynolds of 1980 define semantic webbing or mapping as a process of organizing and integrating information that underlies many theories of conceptual thinking. As a technique, it is an effective way for teachers to organize and integrate with the teacher's help. The resulting visual display or semantic web represents the category and relationships constructed from the story content and from the students' related knowledge and theories about the world. So let us proceed to the examples of semantic webbing. We will use the ibong Adarna or the Adarna bird in English bilang isang parang platform o batayan para mas lalo pa nating maintindihan ang semantic web. Dito nyo po nakikita ang mga characters ng ibong Adarna na sila na ang King, Queen, Adarna Bird, Don Juan, Don Diego, at Don Pedro. So, nakikita nyo po yung mga sa semantic method, pinapakita po dyan yung kanilang mga parang ugali. Yan. Tsaka, may papakita rin dyan yung mga pagkakaparehas na ugali nila. So, i-define ko na lang yan pagdating natin sa components ng basic model. So, let us proceed to the components of a basic model. So, what are the components of a basic model? There are four. The core question, the web strands, the strand supports, and the strand ties. The first one is the core question. The core question is the focus of the web and the purpose of the inquiry. It is chosen by the teacher. All information and ideas generated for the web by the students are related to the core question. For example, who are the characters in the story of Darna Bird? Okay. And the second one is the web strands. Web strands are the answers which students give to the core question. In our example above, there are 7 strands, one for each character in the story: the king, the queen, the three princes, Don Pedro, Don Diego, and Don Juan, the old cripple, and the Adarna bird. And the next one is the strand supports. Strand supports are facts, inferences, and generalizations that students take from the story to give clarity and validity to the strands and to differentiate one from the other. Again, using the Adarna bird, we find that the important strand supports for the king are a good ruler, was very sick, and had a strange malady which could be cured only by the sweet songs of the Adarna bird. Okay. And the last one is the strand ties. Strand ties are the relationships that strands have for each other. In the same selection, 2 strand ties important for the meaning of the story. That are the king and queen are both rulers of the kingdom, and that they are the parents of the 3 princes. Okay. Don Pedro, Don Diego, and Don Juan. Okay. A strand tie is also a means of characterization. For example, it shows that the 2 elder brothers are proud, selfish, cruel, and rude. Whereas the youngest is exactly the opposite. So, in summary, A semantic web visually illustrates categories and relationships generated from a core question. Both teachers and students expand their roles in the lesson by extending and elaborating their own meaning.
So, these are the examples of semantic web. So, ito na po. Charan! So, we are done to the basic components of semantic webbing method. So, we're going to move to the basic steps in semantic webbing process. So, step 1, set a purpose for reading which encourage the students to use a specific reading thinking strategy. Also, decide what part of the story they will read. Prepare a table of selected reading thinking strategies that you want to develop and reading units that may use with each strategy. So, dito sa step 1, as a teacher, magbibigay ka ng, ng isang story wherein yung mga estudyante is mababasa nila and magkakaroon sila ng background knowledge dun sa babasahin nila. So, after that, proceed na po tayo sa step number 2. Step number 2 is formulate a core question based in the reading thinking strategy and the reading unit. So, magpo-formulate na tayo ng core question, which is ito po yung nasa pinakagitna ng semantic webbing method, kung saan magbibigay tayo ng tanong related doon sa pinabasa nating story doon sa step 1. So, sa step 3 is elicit from the students possible answer to the core question. So, after na maibigay natin yung core question, yung mga estudyante is maglilista na sila ng mga possible answers doon sa core question related doon sa nabasa nila sa step number 1.
The next one is to build web strand with the student support. Then followed by guide the students in relating the strands. And the last basic step is to apply the web, to set purposes for further reading of the same story, for constructing other webs for the same story or for other stories, or for bringing life through art, drama, or role-playing, other activities that relate web concepts to other knowledge and experiences. So this is the end of our discussion about semantic webbing process. And in behalf of Miss Judy Ann Lumbao, we would like to thank you for listening in our report.